Today we'll be looking at author's purpose. Author's purpose tells me why the author is writing a text. There are four common purposes that most authors use to write. They're either writing to inform, to persuade, to entertain, or to explain. If they're writing to inform, they're usually giving a lot of facts, a lot of details, and they're usually telling a true story. They hardly ever express their own opinions. When they're writing to persuade, they do use some of their own opinions because they're trying to convince you to feel or think a certain way. Therefore, they pick and choose details that will help them accomplish their goal. Another reason authors write is to entertain. Usually, that's fiction, meaning it's not true. The text has solely been written to provide the reader with something to enjoy. And the last is writing to explain. These are usually directions that are given, such as what you receive with a video game or with ingredients when you're getting ready to cook. I'm about to give you 4 questions. You're going to answer each question the way it shows on the slide, beginning with telling me what the author's purpose is and continuing by telling me why you chose that answer. Number 1. One of my students came into the classroom, looked at me, and then immediately began to look sad. I asked her what was wrong. She said, "I thought Miss Johnson would be here. I'll just go." I asked the student if there was something I could help her with. She said, "No thank you," and left. I couldn't believe a student would prefer to talk to Miss Johnson over me. I'm a good listener. I'm helpful. I usually help people go in the right direction. If I was a kid and I had a choice between going to me or Miss Johnson, I would choose me. Wouldn't you? Number 2. It was a dark and stormy night. The weather was so bad, stores had begun closing early. They knew no one would be able to make it through the hurricane-like winds and rain to stop anyway. Marie worked at the Dollar General on Annapolis Road. It was so close to her house, she often walked to work, as she did today. She had no idea the skies would open up and crash down upon her as they had done. Unfortunately, Marie was the only one at her house with a driver's license, so no one could come get her. She reached into her purse to call her boyfriend, hoping he could save her from the dangerous path ahead. No answer. She called again, but again, no answer. The third time she called, a woman answered the phone. Marie's face showed great anger and confusion. She thought about asking, but instead, she covered her head and started walking. Number 3. In other news tonight, the city of Harrisburg is happy to unveil the new statue of one of its greatest heroes, Donald Sampson. He was a proud American citizen who never missed an opportunity to let people know he was the product of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. He served in the nation's army for 17 years before eventually being sent to Iraq during Desert Storm. He flew 79 missions in and out of Middle Eastern countries, saving the lives of many other American soldiers. At no point did he ever show fear or regret. He finally returned home in 1992 and spent the next 15 years as an instructor in a military flight school. He retired in 2007, saying he wanted to spend the rest of his years enjoying quality time with his children and grandchildren. In late 2011, he died quietly in his sleep. Tomorrow, his daughter will give a speech as the city unveils his memorial. Number 4. Step 1. Remove the leaves from the stem. Step 2. Soak for 1 hour in warm water, heavily diluted in vinegar. Step 3. Fill a large pot 1/3 of the way with water and then add the following: collard greens, seasoning meat, fresh garlic, and half an onion. Cook for 3 hours on low to medium heat. Drain, cool, and serve. For each of these 4 questions, you should be writing, "The author is writing to," and "I can tell because," and in the blanks, you should be letting me know what your answer is and how you chose it. Don't forget to submit your assignment via Edmodo before the end of class. You will also find your article for today on your Edmodo page as well.